Hi everyone, I'm Truffles, and today I'm here with RTT, our captain, who's made it all the way to the top 8 of the Dominion Online Championship 2020. So congratulations on another successful year into the quarterfinals.
Thanks.
So can you tell us a little bit about yourself? And I know we interviewed you last year as well, so some new fun facts would be awesome.
Yeah, well, this time I was brave enough to do voice.
Last year I was
Since
too
something
scared.
new, I don't know. Not much has changed. I still have two kids, two boys, who are now 2 and 4 years old, and still work in software engineering.
Good. I think the programmer groups will be very happy to get someone else on their side.
Yeah, I heard that. There's some war between economists and
Yeah.
programmers.
Since there's been the pandemic and all, have you discovered any other fun board games?
Hmm. Well, I played Santorini a bit with my wife. That's kind of fun, but completely different game. Other than that, I played a bit of Scythe.
Scythe?
Yeah, Scythe.
How do you spell that?
Scythe.
Oh, cool. I've never heard of it.
It's like kind of big.
Oh, I guess I've just been living underneath a rock. Last year, I think when I interviewed you, Captain and Church had just came out, and this year Menagerie came out. So I was wondering what your impressions of it were.
So of Menagerie or Captain?
Of Menagerie. I know how you feel
Menagerie.
about Captain.
Menagerie is interesting, and a lot of the cards just work completely different than what we used to, especially, of course, the ways. Initially, it was pretty exciting to evaluate them and then see how they play out, but sometimes the ways just do nothing because there's just every card on the board is just better than what the way does. But yeah, some of the ways are kind of fun.
Do you have a
Um,
favorite or least favorite card and way in Menagerie?
my favorite card is Displace. I like the exile mechanic especially, and Displace is just kind of fun because you don't really lose the card that you trash or exile to it. You could theoretically gain it back again if you just buy it or displace into it later. And of course, yeah, victory cards are gone from your deck and you can get another engine piece or like a gold. That's kind of fun. And what I don't like is Mastermind.
Oh,
Um,
interesting. Is it because it looks
yeah,
like Adam Horton, or do you just not like the card?
no, I just don't like the mechanic of it. Or I mean, King's Court is the same, but I always thought Mastermind is just too cheap and too unreliable because you can't really in most decks you can't decide what your opening hand is, and yeah, and of course there's the eternal bug in the online game with it, where you can't choose which mastermind you play. If you have a masterminded mastermind out.
Yeah, I think Mastermind is interesting in a way that, like, because it's a duration card, you kind of do get an extra search space because you see 5 cards, whereas if you draw King's Court with a few cards, you only see 4. But in some way, it's more unreliable. Drawing like
Yeah,
a hand of 5 treasures is always pretty feels bad.
it's also so easy to hit 5, so you could just go for an early mastermind and YOLO, and then you hit a giant turn really early and just
Yeah,
snowball. And King's Court isn't that easy to reach. You first have to build a bit to get to 7 usually.
yeah, I definitely agree with that. What
Yeah,
is your favorite way?
Way of the Horse is probably my favorite way because it's always the question if you want to save your turn or make your current turn a lot better, but you lose some good card.
I
Yeah,
think that
that's pretty interesting.
extra decision point is really interesting. I also really like ruins now with ways. I think ruins are less bad. It makes Marauder even worse of a card. But
Yeah, well then you just don't get it. But of course, Death card is pretty insane with Way of the Horse.
yeah, for sure.
But I guess Experiment is kind of equal. Like you get 2 horses for 3, and then you get 3 horses for 4.
Yeah. Do you have a least favorite way?
Way I said few days before that Way of the what's it, Goat isn't really exciting.
It's pretty
Yeah,
unexciting. It kind of turns all of your cards into a worse trade route, which is
There are
something you don't want to open or play with very
like
often.
80% of boards have some better trashing anyway, so
So, yeah, what is your favorite and least favorite card overall? And I'm gonna make a wild guess that the favorite card is Captain. So,
no, that's just the favorite art.
fair.
I've lost some brutal games to an early captain, and it's not all that fun. But my favorite two cards actually are Tragic Hero and Capital.
Right.
With Tragic Hero, I like that it makes you think about how you use it. If you want to get like that's kind of like Way of the Horse in that sense. But it also enables some nice mega turns. And Capital is probably a bit underrated by a lot of people, and that's why I like it. A lot of people don't see that 6 coins now are better than 6 debt next turn.
That makes sense. I do think that like it's a tricky card to play with though because you don't know how much debt you should take. Sometimes like it's better to not take so much debt and sometimes it's better to just like spike something early, but some of those decision points aren't always clear.
Yeah, and that's fun.
Yeah. Yeah, what's your least favorite card? I hope you're not going to say captain.
No, it's Possession.
You
But
didn't sign
I
up for
mean,
a possession cage tournament?
instant muting the channel. No, no way I would. But I guess that's a bit unfun because a lot of people hate Possession.
Yeah,
Swindler is the other one.
I think I saw a comment from someone in the possession cage tournament where they said possession makes games worse because if you're playing against someone slow, then like you have to watch them slowly play out your turn too. So it makes
Uh,
games extra slow. But I think I've enjoyed spectating possession games. It's very interesting.
yeah, it's fun if you can just go away and leave the client without losing rating
Yeah.
as a spectator.
Yeah. So you reached the top 8 in the championship last year and you made it all the way and you came second actually. So do you have any lessons that you've learned from last year that you're gonna take this year?
From the loss against Freaky, or
Or in
I guess
general?
I mean it's I can be kind of play chilled now because I basically am where I wanted to be already. Last game, top 16 is like where I really wanted to get, and from now on it's all an extra. So I have to keep a calm attitude and yeah, don't stress myself out, and then I probably can play as good as I can, and then
Hmm.
it's all good, whatever happens.
Yeah. It's definitely a lot more enjoyable and I think you end up playing better when you're in a calmer and like less stressful state. I remember the first time when I just joined the Dominion Discord, I signed up for a tournament. I think it was like Cage Renaissance or something like that. And it was my first tournament and I couldn't sleep the night before because I was so nervous. And like,
Renaissance the tournament.
yeah, it was so scary for me, but now I can enjoy games a lot more that I play in tournaments and I don't feel as nervous. But in the beginning, I was like
Yeah,
really scared.
I think everyone who kind of takes it a bit serious and wants to improve or wants to prove themselves as a good player is a bit nervous on tournament games. I
Hmm.
was very nervous on my first leagues and tournaments as well,
Yeah, but I think you get used to it.
for
Um,
sure. But every now and then there's this game like against Dr. Steelhammer, this championship where I was somehow super nervous. I don't know why.
I think it's definitely nervous, especially because there's like people playing, sorry, spectating and everything. And I think for me, I'm like pretty harsh on myself. And whenever I know I play poorly, I just get like really upset at myself for being like silly or making a silly mistake. So sometimes it's tough when you're so hard on yourself.
Yeah.
So what's been your favorite moment in the championship so far?
I mean, I kind of liked all of that. There was a bit, I kind of liked the up and downs I had. I was almost eliminated or went to a game 7 very early against Elia, and it was like this would be somehow embarrassing to lose already, and then I still pulled through. Against Lime Time, I was down 3-1, and then Captain Board appeared, and that gave me the strength to win the next 3 games somehow. Um, but yeah, a lot of the times I thought this is the last match for me. Now it's over. But somehow I'm still in it. Let's see how far we can get.
Comebacks are always really exciting, especially when people post on Discord and they're like a game 7 alert. It's like really exciting, but I can imagine it being really nerve-wracking for the players because it's kind of win it all the marbles.
Yeah, and then you get second player in that game, and it's like,
yeah, and then you roll a board with Swindler, and you're even sadder.
Yeah, that can't happen to me.
So if you had to pick someone who you think is most likely to win, and you can't pick yourself, who would you pick?
Nerdbound. Yeah, because then he won against me, so he can just win it all.
That's fair. I'm excited to see that match. I think it's happening this Sunday at 18:30 UTC.
Saturday it is. Yeah.
On Halloween, right? Very spooky. Good luck.
Yeah.
Aside from the championship, have you had a favorite overall Dominion moment this year?
Well, there have been some nice boards, but it's not really something that stands out.
How did you feel around like Menagerie Preview Week? I remember you made a few like preview videos and it was really exciting.
Yeah, that's always cool. I get to make some cool videos, but at the same time there was some pandemic going on, and it was really like developing just, and we all were a bit uncertain how it all will change. So Dominion wasn't really the top priority for me there. Also, we were on vacation at the same time.
I think you also released a new album or a new single this year, a new Dominion song, which is crazy because I think this year has kind of flown by. Yeah, it's just been a crazy year, but I forgot the name of it.
I mean, released. It was just like I worked on it for one day or for 2 days together with my wife even.
I think when I wrote my Dominion song, it took me like a week or so. So 2 days is pretty impressive.
Yeah, but it hasn't even gotten that many views, so I don't see a reason to make more.
I will insert the link here somewhere on the screen or somewhere in the text description so that people can throw you some thumbs up. And I have 2 more questions for you. One of them being is, what advice do you have for Dominion players looking to improve?
Yeah, Fortress is a good target. Or do you mean something else?
I meant more like getting better at the game.
I figured. But I don't really have an answer other than like play much and play awake. Like
play
really
awake.
really looking at what you are doing and what your opponent is doing and why he might doing it, especially if he's better than you or appears to be better than you. But also just watch League, play in the League. That's probably the best way to improve.
I agree. Playing in League, I think, especially when you're playing against people close to your skill level, I think you get to focus more on building your deck while not getting completely destroyed or completely dominating. So definitely check out League if you haven't already. And my last question for you is, if you had a Dominion catchphrase, what would it be?
Yeah, it's good that I had to that I was listening the other interviews before, because I never would have come up with something that spontaneously. But I have worked something out. So what was it? Bad draws test your skill the most, but also your sanity.
Bad draws test your skill the most, but also your sanity. That's a good one. That's a lot more elegant or like prepared of catchphrase than the other ones. It's longer.
Yeah, you should have given them some heads up there.
I actually did. I did give them heads up. So yeah, I like that catchphrase. It's nice and long. The longest one I've seen so far. But yeah, thanks for letting me
in compliment to my name.
But yeah, thanks so much for letting me interview you, and good luck playing against Nerdbound this Saturday.
Thanks.
Have a good day. Bye.